me a beat, let's go.
With the jiggy.
I'm here with Kira. We're about to get a mirror going, cause we like each other and we chemistry, we vibe off each other. We got this going, oh, we really flowing. Hey, come on, give it to me. We're gonna shake some booty. Hey, hey. That was so good. Off the dome, baby. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Mad Woman Podcast.
I'm more and more impressed with you every single day.
Should I freestyle every intro? No.
Yes.
Well, thanks. Thanks for the good
needed.
vibes. You know, I've always been afraid of freestyling, but sometimes you just got to do shit for the plot and be the main character, which is what we're talking about today. But before we get into that, welcome back to the Mad Woman Podcast, everyone. My name is Olivia. I have Kira with me here.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello. We're back to just us two this week, so we've had a couple guests.
It's weird.
I know.
I feel like someone should be sitting next to me.
I know, but I get to just stare directly at your face. It's
my biggest dream in life.
I like it. Yeah, so today, Kira and I want to talk about you're scaring me. You're freaking me out. She didn't stop staring at me. Kira and I today want to talk about main character energy. Not you yawning.
Sorry.
3 seconds into the episode. Are you joking? Drink some of
I
this.
slept really bad last night.
Crack a bottle. Let your body wobble. Don't act like a sorry bottle. You just hit the
thriller
lotto.
book really late at night, and I could not sleep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, drink some of that
A
liquid
woman got
death.
possessed by the river.
I don't know what to say to that.
It was really stupid. Don't read the book, guys.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Anywho, back to what I was saying. We're here to talk about main character energy today. All right. It's very exciting, despite what Kira's yawn might tell you. We're going to have a great time. So we want to talk about, I feel like main character energy has been a term that's been thrown around a lot over the last year or two. I think I've seen it just on TikTok, Instagram, like she's the main character. Oh, she's the main character. She's this, she's that. And I love it. I think it's an amazing thing. I think we are all the main characters of our own lives, our own stories. And being the main character just means tapping into your authenticity, living life with a sense of adventure and fulfillment, and just doing shit for you because you want to, because it's your story. Obviously not being like selfish to a like devastating extent, right? But like doing things for you, because you're ultimately, we've talked about this before, you are the only consistent in your life. You need to have a good relationship with yourself because it's you and only you at the end of the day, right? And I think having fun with life and not taking too seriously and just being like main character is what I love about this sort of trend. And your main characterness does not take away from anybody else's main characterness, right? So I feel like there's a sense of some people that might be resistant to the topic or like main character, like you're so conceited or you're so into yourself, whatever. It's like, no, we're all main characters. We're all like, that's not up for debate here. It's just how can you
You're
tap
writing your
in
own book.
You're
And
writing
you are
your
the
own
protagonist.
book. Yes, and you're tapping into your own main character energy. So we've got some tips for you today that we think will help you tap into main character energy. Obviously, we're kind of using our own experiences to back these up, but I think they can kind of go for everyone. If you find that something doesn't feel quite right for you, maybe make adjustments to make it more authentic to you. But I'm excited to hear what Kira's got in store. I've got 3 tips in store as well. You want to start us off?
I do. Okay, so for tip number 1, I'm going to start with power posing. The typical having your chest out, hands at your side. You can do the typical power posing as if like you're a superwoman standing there. In the morning, starting your day with this, I think it will lead you to exude confidence more than you would even think. You're just going to go out with your day being the main character then, instead of being slouched. Like when you're going on your phone and you're sitting eating dessert. I'm going to say breakfast. You can eat
dessert works too. That's the main character shit right there.
Like picture yourself waking up and you're sitting at your dining room table and you're eating breakfast and you're slouched over on your phone, gobbling down some food. Gobble, gobble. But instead of slouched over, I want you to sit up tall. I want you to really focus on your posture the entire time. Posture goes a long way with confidence. I always get told, people always tell me I give off 6 feet energy, even though I'm not 6 feet. I'm like 5'9.5". And granted, I know I'm tall and I have good posture of being a dancer, but having posture will really like create your confidence and take you a whole level. When you're walking down the streets and you have your shoulders pinned back and you just are looking out and you're not looking down, you're power posing, you're walking through life, the confidence is going to come off of you and you are going to be the main character. So power posing.
Power
Tip number
pose.
1.
I love. And I think what's so wonderful about power posing is that you're taking up space, right? Like we're so trained, especially as women, to make ourselves small. And we've talked about this before. Skinny, tiny, like all these things that we've just been ingrained. We need to be as small as possible in so many ways. Power posing will just completely blow that out the window. If you can, I like what you're saying about posture because you can take that into every moment of your day.
Yeah.
But in a more private setting, I like to power pose like literally starfish. Yeah. Standing up, arms straight up to the sky as big as you can, fingers spread as big as you can. Every part of your body just like open as wide as possible to take up as much space as possible, getting the energy flowing.
Even with that, instead of, if you don't want to stand up, like if you are trying to think of a way to put it into your daily life, right when you're in bed before looking at your phone, power pose while laying down. Just like starfish in your bed and take up space and just start your day off that way.
I love that. I love that.
Also, I would say there's a TED Talk, I want to say it's called Power Posing, that it went viral a few years ago, maybe even more than a few years ago, maybe when I was in high school. And there's a lot of data around the importance of power posing and the positivity that it can create. So go listen to the TED Talk.
Go listen to that TED Talk.
To understand power posing better.
Maybe that's why I know the things that I know about power posing. I can't remember where I learned it, but
it is such a clear TED Talk I had to watch in school, and it like stuck with me for so many years.
It stuck with me too. Like I remember, I mean, obviously I'm not like interviewing for jobs right now or anything like that, but whenever I was nervous to go into a meeting or a job interview or anything like that, I would take a second in the bathroom beforehand, right outside the door to get big, power pose. It actually boosts your testosterone, I believe was part of the science behind power posing, which like helps you in that sort of work environment to get more confident and take up space. So yeah, boost your confidence through power posing. And then if you're in a chair, maybe at a meeting, like Kira said, posture, sit up straight. I love it. I think it's a great tip and super useful.
I think I'm trying to see if I can find the TED Talk. And the one that's coming up automatically is Amy Cuddy, More Confidence, or Your Body Language May Shape Who You Are. Another one says More Confidence in 2 minutes. So I'm assuming that's the power posing one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and watch this, but don't take my word for it. But
we're just watching a video on the podcast. No, that's great. I love that tip. And it goes super well into my first tip. My first tip was just confidence in general. So we're kind of on the same page here. Part of being the main character in your life, in your story, is walking through life with confidence. And it's so much easier said than done. So a few tips. I love Kira's power pose tip because I actually didn't have that. But think about what would the star of a movie or a book be doing, right? She's not walking into a room with her head down, staring at her phone. She's walking in, head up, chin up, making eye contact with people. She comes into their vicinity and actually acknowledging everyone, not being afraid to be present in that space. She's taking up space again. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, is taking up space as that main character in your story. So I feel like I see, a lot of people, maybe you're meeting friends at a bar, okay? But when you enter that bar by yourself, you're like on your phone, like, where are they? Where are they? Like, where are they seated? They said they're in the back right corner. I'm on my phone. I don't want anyone to think that I'm here alone. But like,
that's
main
such a great
character,
example.
right? Main character is flipping that and walking into that bar and saying, I don't care if people think I'm here alone. I don't even want to look at where my friends are sitting because I'm going to take a lap and I'm going to walk around with my head high and look for them, scan the room. I think scanning the room is really big. So like, instead of just like walking in and like finding a corner to stand in, like walk in, head up, chest up, and look around. And especially if you're like single and trying to look for like, cute people, like obviously don't like scan the room, like who's hot, who's not, but like, just be like, just feel the vibe. I think when you like present your energy like that and get a feel for other people's energy, there's just so much more power and adventure in that. So take a lap, look for your friends without looking at your phone.
And adventure in that. Yes.
Yeah. I actually did this recently at the Lafayette a couple weeks ago when I was meeting some friends, not the day that I was with you, but the day before. And I knew the general vicinity they were in because I checked my phone in the Uber before I got in, but I very deliberately put my phone in my purse before I enter a new space. And so that I'm not even tempted to look at it. So I'm like, okay, they said they're in this general area, but I'm going to put my phone away, lip gloss is on, reapply it in the Uber. But as soon as I'm out of that Uber,
energy.
Exactly. As soon as I'm out of that Uber, I'm present in that moment. I'm looking at my surroundings. I'm acknowledging people I'm walking by. I'm smiling at people. And this is a part where, again, I want you to adjust for your own authentic presentation of yourself. But for me, like, I like to smile, right? Like, I like to smile at people, soft smile as I'm walking by, because if you're just walking by, like, you know, straight face or like resting bitch face or whatever, it, you know, can be intimidating. But if that's what you're going for, totally fine. But I like to obviously like put a soft smile on my face as I'm walking around and fucking strut through, like you're not looking at your phone, you're strutting through, you're making a lap. And I think where people hesitate with this, because I feel the hesitation in myself as well, but I'm actively fighting it, is it feels like you're conceited again. When you're walking into a space and you're soft smiling and you're like, I know I look good. That's how it feels, right? It feels like, oh, I'm too into myself. But it's just like, so what? Yeah, I look good. Like, I am into myself. Like, everyone should be. You're the main character, you know? And if people are going to stare at you and be like, oh, she obviously thinks she's so hot. Like, that is a projection of themselves, okay? Like, yeah, I do think I'm hot, all right? And I'm going to work it and I'm going to have fun with it and strut. And most people, especially people that you want to be in association with or people that you want to meet or your friends, are going to be like, that's a bad bitch.
Damn,
she
looks good.
Yeah, totally. So I think those are some really helpful confidence tips. Eye contact, no phones. What else? Any other confidence tips?
You said the words "be present," and I think we should just put a footnote there. It, like, being present. I mean, life gets so busy, and you're on your phone, and you're text people. You're figuring, like, you're just going through life, going through the motions. But staying present is, I think, it will really make a difference and really important for main character energy.
Yes, absolutely. Like, how often do you watch a movie and the character's just staring at their phone? You know what I mean? That's not part of the movie, right? So obviously we have our phones, we have them for a reason. We're working on them, we're texting, we're calling, whatever it is. Get it done, do what you need to do. I'm not here to judge. I'm on my phone all the time. We literally have our phones right here as we're like doing this, you know? But I think there's such power and, again, confidence in putting it away and enjoying the moment that you're in. And I get so bummed at myself when I realize how long I've been staring at my phone, or when I'm at the dog park and, you know, everyone's just walking around with headphones in, staring at their phone. Ooh, headphones. That's another thing, is I rarely walk around with headphones in. I think that there's two sides to this coin. So the first is walking around with your headphones out and not listening to music opens you up to your surroundings more. So again, it's back to the being present. It's opening yourself up to interactions that can really light up your day. They don't even have to be like flirty interactions, right? Like, if you are single and wanting to meet someone organically, definitely recommend not walking around with headphones in, because that just, like, how are you going to have interactions with strangers or anything like that? But even if you're not single, not looking for something romantic, the most beautiful interactions just happen when we let ourselves be open to it. And when we put headphones in and we close ourselves off and we stare at our phone, that takes away from the plot. That takes away from cool things that could happen to us, cool people we could meet. Even if it, like, is an interaction that you never see that person again, it leads absolutely nowhere. It's just a little spark in your day. And I think that it's super powerful. Now, flip side to that, did you want to say something?
No, keep going.
Flip side to that is, I do think there's a certain power to putting headphones in. And my favorite playlist on Spotify is Walk Like a Badass on Spotify. And it's just like intense, sexy rock music. And say you're like trying to get from point A to point B walking, and you're like, I don't care to meet anyone or talk to anyone right now. I'm in my zone. Walking with your headphones in like a bad bitch. I support that too. So I think that, you know, depending on what you want, but generally speaking, I think we can all take our headphones out and put our phones down a little bit more to be that main character.
Two things. The first thing, going back to the phone, if the thought, give yourself, how do I word this? If the thought of like putting your phone away stresses you out, give yourself a time frame. Say, okay, I'm gonna put my phone down for 10 minutes. You can start really small if you're someone who really, especially if you're someone who like uses your phone with like you have kids or a family or whatever the case may be, work. Put it down for 10 minutes. Like, say you're gonna put it down while you walk into the bar and you're gonna get a drink. Don't look at it until after you have a drink in your hand. And then if you need to look at it, you can look at it. Or when you're out to dinner with your friends, try to put your phone away the whole dinner if you can, or like put it down, face down, all of you guys with the phones. Give yourself a time frame that might make it less, or make it more manageable, so you don't get all stressed out about not having my phone or feeling like you can't look at it type of thing.
Totally. Have you ever done a weekend without your phone or anything like that? Like a detox? I've seen people do that before.
I've gone camping and we don't have service. And,
Right.
Or like there'll be spotty service, but I would just turn my phone off. So like Joe and I went camping in, oh God, I actually don't know when that was, July or August. And Friday at like 4 p.m. I turned it off until Sunday night because I was just in the woods.
Yeah.
But I didn't like intentionally do that. I just I knew I wouldn't have service.
I got you. Yeah, I've done that too when I just don't have service. Obviously, I'll go without a phone for a couple days, but I think it's really admirable the people that do a specific detox and just don't go on their phone at all. I also heard of this company called Light Phone, I believe it's called. And I don't know where they're at in their process, if they're just doing prototypes or if they actually have phones that you can buy right now. But they're basically, because I think the idea of not having any phone at all stresses a lot of people out.
Yeah.
But they have a phone that's designed to just be a phone. Text, call to a few, key contacts, maybe music and podcasts. And other than that, that's it. Like it's basically just back to a flip phone, right? So you have it in case someone really needs to text you or really needs to get a hold of you. Like you have kids or you have family that, you want to just make sure you're available for key people. So you can set it to that. But then you can just kind of set it and forget it. And if nothing comes through, you know that nothing's actually urgent. You don't need to be scrolling through Instagram. You don't need to be whatever. So that's kind of a cool company. Again, I'm not sure where they're at right now, but could be the future of being a main character.
It's crazy because I can't even imagine that because I use my phone for work too, like editing videos for Madhouse. It's like there's so many, I spend so much time on my phone doing things for work and also being on like Instagram and things or looking through music to, even though it said you could do music, looking through music for when I'm on a choreograph and whatnot. I cannot imagine holding a flip phone again where I can only text and, a flip phone, quotation marks. But yeah, I wonder how that company is doing that. I think people do need to experience something like that.
I'll be interested to see how it develops. But yeah, so put those phone downs, babies. Did you have any other confidence tips?
Well, no, I was going to go into the second point because you said when you don't have your headphones in, it opens you up to the little things. So is this our third tip? Is our third tip?
No,
right?
We're on number 1.
Oh, wasn't power pose like one like?
Oh, so this is 2.
2, but yeah, 3. Like if you count, I understand my brain.
I don't understand your brain, but continue.
Like power posing was 1. You were 2.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 3 because we have 6 in
we're
total.
going on to number 3 now.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Moving along.
Perfect. And it ties into you saying the little things. So my third tip is romanticize your life. To give an example, I picture Cinderella. Like I'm pretty sure in the beginning of the movie, she wakes up, she yawns, she has her birds, they fly in and they're like.
Is that why you yawned at the beginning of the podcast? You main character, you.
Come on. And they fix the drapes, they get out of bed and it's just bird music and light and airy and she is the main character. Obviously she's Cinderella. But it's totally a romanticized version of your life. No one wakes up and is like, welcome world. I mean, you can if you want to, but
yeah.
So romanticize your life. But going into the little things, I rollerblade a lot and I love my rollerblades. And one of the reasons it took me a while to buy them because it's like, am I going to rollerblade? And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I want to be that person who goes rollerblading by myself and just has a ball. And they're really cute rollerblades. They're a bunch of pastel colors. Olivia knows them. Like
they are cute.
Purple, blue, pink. Adorable. I'm truly obsessed with them. Best purchase of 2023. And when the first time I wore them, I didn't have my headphones in and I got compliments left and right. And it was just like, or people just like coming up to me and just talking. And I met like a couple people through Crown Point and I loved it. And I left and I was like, oh, it's the little things. Like just somebody doesn't need to be them complimenting you. But in that case, it was them complimenting my rollerblades. And it was so sweet. And then the next time I had my headphones in, and I usually don't do headphones because, women and I want to be aware of my surroundings, but Crown Point's usually populated. So I was like, I'm going to put my headphones in. But I didn't, people were saying things to me, but I couldn't hear them. I was just staring at their mouths moving. And I'm like, wait, I feel so disassociated from everything happening right now. And then I have not worn headphones since.
That's my biggest fear is that I'll be wearing headphones and people are trying to say things to me and I don't hear them. So I don't respond because I hate when that happens to me because I'll be, walking my dog and pass someone and just try to make eye contact with them and say hello. Mm-hmm. And they just don't even respond. And I'm like, they're probably wearing AirPods, I hope.
Exactly.
But it's just not a good feeling on the end of the person trying to initiate the interaction to receive just silence on the other end. And that's a really good example though of the difference of interaction. And I mean, you know, depending on what you're going for that day, if you're like, I really just want to be in my introverted, you know, state.
There's a time and a place for everything. There are days that I get up and I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to play music. And I usually play it on my phone because headphones kind of scare me when we are in public like that. But so there's a reason. So the little things, romanticize your life. A specific step. Pick 3 things in your day. I feel like main character energy is all about like I literally read like a definition of main character energy before this podcast, and I'm not
Look at you prepping.
I'm not going to remember. Actually, maybe I wrote it down. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, it was literally saying main character energy is romanticizing your life and finding joy and contentment in the little things. That was what I read. So a specific step to go towards main character energy is to find 3 things in your daily life. It could be as small as loving the color of the sky or the sunset, or somebody complimented your rollerblades today, or you killed your presentation at work. Literally whatever it is. It could be small, it could be big, doesn't matter. But just take a true moment of gratitude and appreciation for that moment and what happened then and there. Like today, right before I picked Olivia up, somebody parked in front of me, parallel parking, and he paid my meter. Even though, granted, I was just picking Olivia up and I was leaving. But he paid my meter, and then he came up to the door and he was like, I paid your meter for 2 hours if you're going to park here, but no biggies if not. And it was just so cute and sweet, and such a, like, some humans are really nice.
Yes.
So it's the little things. And that clearly made my day better. And I was like, wow, you were really sweet for that and precious. So
random acts of kindness are great. That guy is the main character.
Yes, exactly.
Well, both of you are. You know, main characters will receive little gifts like that from people and receive kindness because they're present and they're whatever. And the main character will also give those moments and those random acts of kindness to other people and romanticize their life. I like that a lot. Going back to your rollerblading, something popped into my mind because I feel like there is nothing that makes you look more like a main character than just like flowing down a boardwalk at sunset with the beach behind you. And we're in San Diego, so that's easy to be in a super beautiful, stunning, romantic location. But if you can find a place that lights you up and makes you happy like that, and I think the key here is combining movement, right? So you're flowing and you're, you know, being, and this goes hand in hand with dance, right? So I think when people are dancing, they feel like the main character, which, not to loop it back into Madhouse and plug it like that, but I guess this is the Mad Woman podcast. I think every single person in our dance classes feels like the main character in those moments because they're moving and they're doing something that feels good. And to you, skating on the boardwalk feels good. So maybe to someone else, it's playing beach volleyball and like making a great hit. Like that's main character energy. Going on a run, just doing something physical.
A hot girl walk.
That is main character energy. I don't do hot girl walks because I don't know. I just don't. I guess I walk my dog, but I don't do an intentional long
walking like a dog.
Walking like a dog, sis. Walking like a dog. But yeah, when I see a girl on a hot girl walk, she is the main character, baby.
Yes, she is.
Okay, great. So combine movement, romanticize your life. I like that tip.
Appreciate the little things.
Appreciate the little thing. Good tip. Okay, my next tip is do shit for the plot. All right. So you are the main character.
Go for the plot, baby.
Do it for the plot. You are the main character in your story, which means you got to spice it up a little bit, okay? You got to add some adventure. You got to have some fun. You got to take some risks. I think that's a big one. Take some risks. Where are you playing it safe in your life that you can just jump off the cliff a little bit? Maybe not a full jump off the cliff, but start to like peek your little toes over, whatever. Whatever metaphor you want to use there. If jumping off a cliff scares you, don't think about it that way. But where are you playing it safe? Like, do you want to start a business? Do you want to shoot your shot with your crush? Do you want to, you know, go, I don't know. What's another example? Go skinny dipping. I don't know. Just do shit for the plot. Do it because you want to do it. And I think part of this is people are like, I'm going to be awkward. Like take like shooting your shot, for example, going back to the being single and sort of dating example of main character energy. A a lot of people are afraid to talk to someone that they just see in their general vicinity because of a lot of valid reasons. You could experience rejection. There's a lot of pain in rejection. You could experience embarrassment or humiliation that kind of goes hand in hand with rejection. It could just be that they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they're not single, you know, like there's so many things that can go wrong. And I think in addition to all those things that can go wrong, people are also afraid of their own awkwardness holding them back and their own, you know, cringiness, or if they can't pull off a perfectly smooth and suave interaction, they're just not going to do it at all. You like the word suave?
I know.
She's smiling at me as I say the word suave. But don't let the fear of not being able to be this super smooth main character prevent you from being a main character at all, right? So like, think about all the wonderful movies and books that you read with awkward main characters, right? Like, nobody is this perfect, charming, whatever. Like, they all have their quirks. So think about anything that might be holding you back as just one of your little main character quirks, right? Like, the first one that came to mind is Bridget Jones. Like, she is so crazy and awkward sometimes, but we absolutely love and adore her. Like, that is what I'm talking about. So
I think of Jess from New Girl.
Oh, that's such a good example.
Yeah.
That's a prime example. I love New Girl. Yeah, she's the most like adorable, charming person.
Quirky,
and
she's so perfect.
not that you have to be quirky if that's not your thing, but what I'm saying is we all have our things that might make us feel a little bit insecure, or like we can't, you know, be that smooth person that's going to go and chat someone up or whatever. Like, you don't have to be that person. You just have to be you. And if you can just accept the fact that, yeah, you might be a little awkward, but that shouldn't hold you back, then it'll be totally fine. And it's for the plot. So if you get rejected, for the plot. If they have a boyfriend or girlfriend,
For the
you
plot.
shot your shot for the plot. If you're embarrassed, that's just a character arc moment. It's just for the plot. Like,
Not a
don't worry
character
about
arc
it.
moment.
I've definitely shot my shot and been like, the person's been like, oh yeah, I have, or I'll be like, are you single? And they're like, no, I have a girlfriend. I'm like, no worries. You know, and you walk away.
It's done.
That's
It's
it. Like,
over with.
that's literally it. And if more
worst comes
people
to worst, you probably put a smile on their face. Like, oh, I just got hit on. That's nice. Like,
exactly. And they're going to go home and be like, babe, guess what?
yeah.
Like, you just made someone's day, you know? And obviously you don't want to like cross any lines or be weird, but all you know, this is what people do. Like, you have to just interact. And then again, if we're taking it out of the dating example, you can take this into all aspects. Like, you just see someone that's wearing a nice outfit, like compliment them on their outfit, give people that
don't be afraid to
kindness.
speak up. Yeah,
don't be
why
afraid to
not?
speak up and tell people how you feel and make connections, make friendships, connect with that random person in the same aisle as you at the grocery store. Like, doesn't matter if they're someone you're attracted to or someone you could see yourself being friends with or whatever. Like, it could be a random person you never see again in your life. And that is an interaction that is worthy of having.
Human interactions are so important.
I don't know if I said that right, but
it made sense.
Yeah, so do shit for the plot, accept awkwardness, and just know that it's part of your character build, all right? You're a very thoughtfully written out character.
Character
okay?
development, baby.
Character development. That's another thing is, if you do want to be that suave, smooth person, like, you got to get there somehow. So start just talking and realize that it's really not that serious. You know, like, you can just have fun with it, and you're just on a big floating rock and nothing actually matters. So if you get rejected,
It's really not
cares?
that serious.
Literally,
that's a
who
great
cares?
line. But
And rejection can be taken into all aspects of life. Again, it's back to the taking risks, right? So you're starting a business, it fails, man, bummer, but that's a huge part of your story moving forward. I've said this before, but highly recommend listening to podcasts, interviews of people that you admire. Specifically for me, I listen to a lot of business podcasts, and they tell their stories and all the risks they took that failed at a young age, or not even at a young age. Some people are 60 when they start their first successful business, you know? And all of those failures that seem like the end of the world in the moment are just part of their story, part of their character development, part of building themselves up that leads to their ultimate success. And it's a constantly written story, right? It's never going to come to an end. So that's the main difference we're talking about here, right? Movies have an end, books have an end. Our lives, well, they have an end. I was going to say our lives don't have an end. But they're longer than a movie, all right? They're going to keep going.
time is the longest thing we have. The next one, there's two things that kind of go hand in hand. Take yourself on solo adventures. Period.
Love.
Solo adventures. That's the big umbrella term. Whether that is going on a hot girl walk, going out to eat by yourself, learning how to be comfortable with just your own company and nobody else's. If you want to include other people, that's totally fine too. But I think it's really important to learn how to be with yourself and truly yourself and enjoy your own company. And going hand in hand with solo adventure, being okay spending money on yourself. Granted, let's be financially responsible, but it's okay. I really struggle spending money on myself. Like if I see something in a little boutique, I won't. It's really hard for me to buy it. I'm like, I work, I make money, I do, like I should be able to just buy myself something. Like,
Yes.
Why not? So whether it's you taking a spa day, you're getting a facial, you're getting your nails done, whatever the case may be, I have to say that a lot. I need to stop saying whatever the case may be is.
Oh, I've never noticed, but I'm definitely going to now.
I noticed it in the podcast. Sorry, listeners. Yeah, so don't be afraid to spend some money on yourself, whatever that means for you. If that is taking yourself on a date, going to a bar. I have a friend at True Food. She takes herself to a bar to study. Granted, I could never do this because that's way too loud and I'd be way so overstimulated. But she will go sit at a bar, order a glass of wine, open up her big ass textbook, and study. And it amazes me. I'm like that. I love it. Main character energy.
That is main character energy.
Times 10.
Yeah, solo dates. And I think something about solo dates that specifically makes it main character energy is because you're by yourself, you kind of have to be more in your surroundings, right? So when you're with a group of people, or with friends that make you feel comfortable and safe, you kind of blend into them, right? And you're a group and you're safe and all that stuff. But when you are able to push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit and be a little bit more exposed to the world, right? You're out by yourself. You're studying by yourself. You're at a
Leave
coffee
yourself
shop by
open
yourself.
for those interactions too.
Yes, but it feels scary. And I think that that's something that everyone needs to get more comfortable with is feeling comfortable and safe with yourself and presenting yourself to the world. Like so many people will say, oh, I'm scared to go to a restaurant and ask for a table for one. And it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like get comfortable with that. If you're scared of that, do it. Follow that fear.
My roommate in college, freshman year, would not go eat in the dining halls by herself.
Wow.
It blew my mind. She would every single day she would text somebody like, who wants to get lunch right now? Or she'd have like 30 minutes in between class and she was starving and wouldn't go to the dining hall by herself because she was like, I'm not sitting at a table by myself. And we were like, girl, we're going to work on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's ever worked on it, but
Oh my gosh. That's a great example though.
I know it can be really hard for people. So
I was going to say
work at your own comfort level, but
that definitely feels like something that they might have been through something as a kid too. And like, yeah, everyone has had different experiences, or maybe you've felt abandoned and you just don't want to be by yourself. And that's fully understandable. And this might be way easier said than done for someone like that. But take the steps necessary to get yourself to that place. Cause I do think ending up comfortable with yourself is the ultimate end game there that you need to get to.
And going back to power posing, when you do these solo adventures, think about your posture. Think about power posing. If you are sitting at a table by yourself, I love the way both of us just
I know. Every time you say posture, I straighten up.
Yeah. If you are out at dinner by yourself and you subconsciously will kind of start to lose your posture when you start to feel a little nervous. And the second you notice that, or just try to constantly remind yourself like, hey, I'm okay. I'm going to be fine. I'm just out at dinner or out at lunch. Let me sit up a little taller. Let me talk to the server. Let me eat a delicious meal, maybe read a book, maybe go on my phone if I want to, and just really be present and in the moment, which ties in like all of our points.
Yeah.
So
That's the ultimate right there. I love it. Great tip. Okay. Final tip.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. We made it. So, because you are the main character in your story, we all know stories have ups, stories have downs, stories have tragedy, comedy, happy endings, sometimes sad endings. But like I said, life is different than a movie. So you're after it for your ultimate happy ending, right? But you will have ups and downs along the way. And you can be a happy person and still have downs, right? Everyone is going to have them. Accept them as part of your story, again, as part of the plot. When you have those high moments, enjoy them, but don't get too attached to them. Don't base your self-worth on them. You know, like I feel like a lot of people can do that. I feel like I always tie it into relationships, but I think it's just such an applicable example. Like you are so happy in this relationship and it's absolutely everything you've ever wanted, and you tie all of your self-worth to that person and that experience. And then when it's like the rug is pulled out from under you and you rip that away, like you hit this rock bottom. And, you know, I think we've all been through something like that or something similar to that. And knowing that that's a part of life and you have to just ride the wave of those ups and downs. If you want a tip to kind of help combat those is, you know, accept that if you are in a high point of your life, that things are going to come and things are going to go, and you don't need to get overly attached to all those things that are making you so happy right now. You have to grip onto them so they can't let go. You have to be able to let go and let things flow in and out. And same with the sad moments. If you're in a sad moment in life, I think a lot of us, more than we care to admit, grip onto sadness and want to hold on to sadness and grief for longer than is necessary, because we become addicted to that pain almost, and that like not victimization, but you know, you just fall into a pattern, and sometimes it's hard to lift yourself out of that pattern. So I think in both cases, whether you're in a high or whether you're in a low, to just release your grip on the situation and let things flow as they want to, and just ride the ups and downs of life, because they're gonna happen. It's natural. You're not gonna have this incredibly happy story all the time, right? And you're also not going to have this incredibly sad story all the time. Every story needs to have its ups and downs. There cannot be light without darkness. I think that acceptance of that is going to help you channel your main character energy and live your life to its fullest potential, because you won't be afraid of the dips, because you know that they're coming, you know, and you can do your best to prevent them or to, you know, I think the key to not being afraid of those dips is to take care of yourself, to be comfortable with yourself, to really cultivate that main character energy so that, you know, I'll get through it. It's no big deal, because something's going to happen at some point eventually, right? Like you can't be living your life in this state of, I'm so happy right now. When's the other shoe going to drop? Please never drop. Please never drop. You know what I mean? Like something is always going to happen that will maybe take you out of that a little bit, but you have to just have a baseline of neutrality and general happiness with like just being a human on this planet. Did that make any sense?
I was just going to say that was beautifully said. I don't even have anything else to combat with that. I thought that was perfectly written.
Great. Well, I love that. We are main characters, baby. Channel that stuff. Should we recap?
Yes.
All right, you go.
Step number 1 for main character energy, power posing.
Love it. Step number 2, confidence. Don't look at that phone. Make eye contact with people. Smile at people. Open yourself up to the little interactions.
Amazing. Step number 3, romanticize your life. Throughout your day, 3 little things that make you smile, make you happy. The color of the sky, the outfit you have on, another person's shoes, someone telling you you're nice.
Random acts of kindness.
Yeah.
Great.
Romanticize.
Number 4, do shit for the plot. Accept your awkwardness. Know that it's part of your quirky character development.
Love. I'm forgetting. Step number 5, solo adventure, and don't be afraid to spend some money on yourself.
Ooh, ball out, baby. And 6, accept the ups and downs of life as part of your story. And just in general, look at your life as a story. And that's that.
Amazing.
We hope this helps you tap into your main character energy and walk through life with a little more confidence and a little more pizzazz. I don't know what I was going to say.
That was cute. I like
a little
it.
more little more spice. Let's say spice.
A little more
spice. That's more madhousey.
A little more spice.
Yeah, baby. Go be spicy for us. Go shake your booty and go strut
be
into
the main
a room.
character.
Yep.
It's good for the plot.
Love it. Bye.
Bye, friends.
Yeah.